It's Philadelphia, all right. And you know what? For all the things anybody could say about Philadelphia, I'll say, good Lord, y'all have welcomed us with open arms, and we're sure appreciative of that.
Hell yeah. I'm sure that won't wear off any day now. But I was curious. I mean, honestly, I'm only going by the stereotype here, but when I think of the South, let alone the Deep South, that seems to be a country pretty big. Well, not country, though you may have tried. That's country pretty steeped in the Old Testament, is it not?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Sure. It's if by that you mean there are a lot of Jews there. No, there's not.
No.
I know about 3 Jews, and I think at least one of them hates my guts, but we don't talk about her. Anyway, sure. I think that there's a lot of steeped in religiosity, and especially steeped in the Bible. And I think a lot of people down there use what parts of the Bible they need to do whatever it is they need to. Just turns out Old Testament has a lot of that. So they pull those up. Spare the rod, spoil the child, all the Leviticus stuff that I'm sure y'all went in depth in previously. And shoot, they'd probably pull some of this number stuff out too if they could, but good God, if anyone
it's such
can
a
get through,
boring chapter.
If anyone could get through this, like, more power to them. I would think religious scholars would be like, where's that from? That's from Numbers chapter 30. Like, don't worry about that. That was too hard to get. I'll just skip to whatever is next. I don't even know what is next.
Be funny, like, well, Deuteronomy is next. It'd be funny, just
good.
Biblical scholars across the board. They just consider Numbers to be like the last Jedi of Bible books, where like everybody agrees you're better off if you skip it.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's a lot. It feels like it's the book of the Bible for accountants. I think that's really where we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. So before we get into our deep dive, tell me, we were talking about this before. What was your personal upbringing with religion and your understanding of religion?
Gotcha. Well, I'm from Alabama, and if you know anything about the South, you know that it is the land of Southern Baptist. I mean, they got the whole church named after them. Honestly, I was raised Southern Baptist. I was in the church Southern Baptist, but my religious upbringing is all kind of wonky because my mother was Catholic growing up, and I was originally baptized Catholic, or what I assumed to be Catholic, considering there were so many crucifixes around. I don't know. I was really young. And I was baptized Catholic, but then we never went back to a Catholic church for some reason, probably for the best, actually, considering how young I was. Anyway, and then we moved around from church to church to church, and it was just like, whatever. I don't know why. I won't go into it about my mother, but she's maybe not the most agreeable person, and apparently the Baptists put up with her enough. I don't know. Maybe it was just hit a different thing. Go ahead.
That is something I've heard in the South and the Midwest that is so completely alien to me. But there is a concept of like church shopping, like moving to a new area. Like, well, you got to find what your church is going to be. Let's go. Let's do a little sample platter. Let's see if they can wine and dine us. Who wants us the most?
I could see that. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that wasn't a thing because that's literally all I've ever done. And, we hit, there's like a giant ultra church, a mega church in Alabama where I'm from, that's Methodist. And we went there and that didn't work out. I don't know why. It seems like you get lost. And if you're one of, 2,000 people, like it just like, it doesn't matter, but not a big deal. She apparently got kicked out of a church for doing the sign, which I'm only vaguely familiar with. They said like, hey, we don't do that here. Y'all don't come back, like something like that. A million different stories about why, but yeah, we eventually settled on a Baptist church and I went there. And then, I would go and hang out and mostly just kind of sit to myself. I don't think people do, as you know how being a child is.
Right.
And I don't know if you could tell by this mug and whether or not I was one of those cool kids. I wasn't. And then it was, basically like, I don't really have any friends at church. I don't really have any reason to be at church.
I will have you know, I am picturing you as a child, and I am still picturing the mustache. I cannot make it go away.
Lord, I'd probably have more friends if I had the damn mustache back then.
You could have bought him beer, absolutely.
The amazing mustache-growing boy. He's only 11, has a full handlebar. Like I'd be way more famous than I was right now.